stupid. What? Everyone feels stupid. Who cares?
You feel stupid?
Yeah, I did. And then I just chose not to feel stupid.
I don't know if I can really get to that point.
90% of life is confidence. The thing about confidence is no one knows if it's real or not.
Perfectionism is psychological. It is a broad personality style characterized by a person's concern with striving for flawlessness and perfection and is accompanied by critical self-evaluations and concerns regarding others' evaluations. Hi, I'm Allie, I'm a perfectionist. Hi, I'm Melissa, you can call me Allie. I have an editing account called Allie Vids. For some reason, I decided to film this video all in voiceover, so we're just gonna go with that format for today. Yeah, let's get into it. I feel living in this day and age, you must be perfect. The world doesn't want flaws. Until they do, but they just pick and choose at the end of the day, and that's not my problem. My problem is I'm so afraid to do what I want, and because I don't want to be, because I don't want to do it sloppy, wrong, or not good enough, or be misunderstood. The internet, in a way, doesn't allow you to grow and learn from mistakes. I think that's a different topic and depends on the situation. But instead of having the normal academic perfectionism teens have my age, I have perfectionism with art and who I am. Since I have to put myself out there and I'm afraid of the negative feedback, but shouldn't I listen and realize I can't achieve without negative feedback? Growing up, I always found myself resonating with characters who were creative, had big dreams, and as I got older, I started resonating with more characters who have those qualities, but also perfectionism is a rooted reasoning for this. From characters like Ko Ye-rim in 2521 to Tick Tick Boom, Jonathan Larson, the biopic, and of course more messed up screen adaptations like Black Swan. But I didn't know what to do with this information. Should I take this information and make it motivation? But that's when the insecurities that are rooted in perfectionism override the passion. I want to stop that. Now granted, shouldn't I do that on my own? Why do I need to announce it to the world? The answer is yes. This is going to be my way of changing my mindset and using it as motivation. Perfectionism is considered a personality trait and not considered a personality disorder of its own. However, perfectionism is a trait often seen in obsessive-compulsive personality disorder, which is similar to OCD. But I don't have OCD. I may have ADHD and other disorders, and that may make some of my personality traits be similar to OCD, but I don't have it. The thing is, I never cared to be perfect at school. Frankly, I think I always knew I was lacking in learning at a young age. I'm smart in a different way. I'm observant, but I'm also naive at times. I found all my friends and even relatives striving for straight A's and nothing less, and I didn't care. So I find most people's perfectionism comes from the social structure of education and how it's pushed that you must be the very best or nothing at all. And my parents didn't push this on me either. They taught me life is about trying new things, failing, and getting back up. So I sat there and went, where did this perfectionist quality come from, and why is it taking over my brain so much? Art. The answer is art. I always liked being creative, but luckily I grew up going to performing arts schools. Art has been instilled with me from childhood, and I realized how much I loved it and how much it made me a dreamer. I started talented art and realized I was lacking. A lot. At that time in 4th grade, I wanted to be as good as this girl who was in my talented art class. To me, she seemed to have natural talent I could never obtain. But you still work and try, right? I was surrounded by very supportive and awesome teachers at the performing arts school, and I think it's part of why and who I am and who I will continue to be. But by the time I got to middle school, I started to be self-aware, overly self-aware. My talent still wasn't good enough. Drawing real people, I was horrible at. I wanted to be good immediately. That was my problem. Art is patience. I've learned that now, but at the time I didn't understand that. I found myself surrounded by these child prodigies at this performing arts middle school. People being able to draw things from memory, create things that are new. Not that I wasn't doing that, I just didn't think I was good enough. I was mediocre. I had great teachers there, and I just couldn't get past that I wasn't good enough to me.
괜찮아요. 전 최대한 그냥 마음을
맞아.
조급해지만 않게 하려고 해야 되는데 저도 너무 그걸 잘 안 해요.
근데 이게 어려운 게 그렇게 하면 너무 힘드니까 잘하고 있다라고 생각하고 싶은데 잘하고 있지 않아서 잘하고 있다라고 생각 못하고
맞아. 저
어렵지 않아?
저도
너무
그래요.
복잡해.
저도 딱 그래요.
그래서 뭔가
제 안에 있는 또 다른
맞아.
자아가 나타나서 지금 만족하고 있어?
뭐
이러고 진짜 이게
심리상담한테 나 똑같은 말이에요 진짜. 나도 그래.
진짜
제가 그 마음속에 안에 2명 있거든요. 한 명은 이 정도는 진짜 잘하고 있다고 하는데 한 명은 이 정도로?
맞아.
진짜 열심히 안 하는구나. 이 2명이 있어서 계속 뭔가 할 때마다
너무 괴로워.
맞아. 그래서 잘하고 있어도 괴롭고 잘하고 있다 괴롭고. 똑같은 생각이네.
똑같이 진짜 말 똑같이 했어요.
맞아.
진짜로.
똑같이.
네.
똑같네 다. 어려워.
진짜 어려워. 언니 진짜 잘하고 있어요.
나 엔진이 잘하고 있어.
네.
I then made it to high school, which I ended up dropping out of for other reasons. But this was my first school not being a performing arts school structure. It was more of a science and math, not good fit for me. But while my other options at the time were performing arts schools, but you must be perfect at academics to go to those performing arts schools. And I didn't have this drive. So I decided to choose a school that I thought I could do better in. So of course we had electives and I was in art. But it wasn't the same structure I was used to at performing arts schools. I found myself around people who were more talented than me, people who looked like they had their shit together, and people who I feel could draw anything, paint anything, create anything. And at this time, I had to compare myself. I'm a teenage girl, it's what we do best.
Just throwing themselves into something. It's a beautiful thing, you know? The second that you stop getting in your own way and you're kind to yourself and you're graceful with yourself, it's crazy to see how you blossom and what you can find out about yourself. When you treat yourself kindly and gracefully and you let yourself be human, your life becomes so much better, and you can figure out what things you need to do in your life that can make it even better. But if you're constantly hating yourself because you don't have it figured out and you don't know what to do to make your life better and you don't know how you're going to turn it around and you don't know how to get the motivation to get out of bed and you're pissed at yourself, you just make the problem worse.
I then got into video editing again and completely dropped 2D art and started from scratch. 3D art is for me. At that time, the pressure of not being good enough brought me to where I am creatively and personally today. I know I'm pretty good at editing. I know it's a raw and real talent I have, and I want to make it a career. And I found lots of success in it already. But I'm now at the place where I know someone is always going to do better than me. Someone is always going to have more knowledge than me, more raw talent, better skills. But that doesn't matter if I'm not them. I respect those people as my peers, but shouldn't I just work from scratch on myself the same way I did? Shouldn't I have that as motivation and to work and better myself? If someone's always going to be better than you, why does it matter if you're good enough for yourself? Perfectionism is holding me back and bringing out insecurities so rooted inside me that I didn't know they existed. And I'm not embarrassed by it because I've been taught this is how we learn. Our reactions, our words, our actions are from us, calculated or not. You can change that. I say all this to say I need to push myself to not only be better, but the patience I learned from editing, I need to learn how to put that towards myself. And I think I get inspired by real stories like Jonathan Larson, where he tried all his life and he never gave up. That's because he believed in himself. And when he didn't believe in himself, he still worked. He still tried. And I think that's why he's left such a legacy.
But who, Mark, are you? Mark has got his work. They say Mark lives for his work, and Mark's in love with his work. Mark hides in his work. From what? From facing your failure, facing your loneliness, facing the fact you live a lie. Yes, you live a lie. Tell you why. You're always preaching not to be numb when that's how you thrive. You pretend to create and observe when you really detach from feeling alive. Perhaps it's because I'm the one of us to survive.
It felt as if Jonathan Larson wrote these exact lyrics for me. As if he knew 25 years of his legacy would live on and speak to me. Passion is something I've learned from his art. It can destroy your life, but it can also create a whole new world of possibilities. And I think Tick Tick Boom is a perfect example of passion and how it's the one thing you can't let die.
최근 들어서 제 모습을 좀 많이 싫어하게 됐었어요. 저는 엄마랑 워낙 어렸을 때부터 너무 친근한 사이였다 보니까 그런 거에 대해서 되게 진짜 이렇게 숨기지 않고 다 터놓고 얘기하는 편이었거든요. 근데 어느 순간 나 스스로를 너무 질책하고 비난하는 저의 모습을 이제 엄마가 아시니까 너무 속상해 하시는 거예요. 제가 지금 생각을 점점 하면 할수록 나를 낳아준 엄마를 생각해서라도 나를 사랑할 줄은 알아야 된다. 저보다 더 2배, 3배 속상해 하시더라고요. 그래서 지금도 들으니까 울컥하시잖아요. 마음 아프고. 그래서 연우가 이제는 힘들지 않고 밝게 우는 날이 많았으면 좋겠고 오히려 제가 더 정말 고마워요. 별로 한 것도 없는 것 같은데 저한테서 이런 좋은 에너지를 받았다고 하는 게 너무 제가 더 힘이 되는 것 같아요.
아이사가 부산 출신이잖아. 그래서 서울 상경하고 많이 힘들었다도.
그 연습생 하다 보면 좀 뭔가 힘든 시기가 오잖아.
왜 그렇게 힘들었어? 뭐가?
뭔가 실력적인 면에서도 뭔가 부족한데 이것 때문에 좀 그런 게 많았고 그냥 여러모로 좀 부족한 게 많은데 내가 해도 될까 이런 생각이 많이 들었던 것 같아.
포기하려고 했어서 어떤 일이 있었는데?
말해도 돼?
응.
이게 진짜 그만둔다고 PD님이랑 대표님한테까지 얘기를 하고 갔었어. 부산을 갔는데 이제 안 될 것 같은 거야, 얘가 없으면. 그래가지고 진짜 계속 전화도 하고 막 또 다른 연습생 친구한테도 야 너가 좀 얘기 좀 해봐 이러면서 계속 하고 막 하면서 여러 번 하다 보니까 이제 다시 왔지.
다시 오게 된 계기가 딱 애들 보고 온 것 같아.
너무 필요했어, 진짜.
그래서 그때 수민이가 좀 많이 도와줬어.
So I feel I'm seeing these two women who are living out this life who are clearly close to me in age. And they're doing it almost flawlessly. It seems flawless, but maybe to them it isn't. And that's a part of perfectionism. But isn't it crazy you can perceive someone as flawless when they also have issues just as much as you? I think those two people are people I look up to. Stacey in general is someone I look up to, as their music speaks to me in different ways. But the fact that they're so bold to be themselves is what helps me learn to be myself. Now, I also watched something else in K-Media, which was a 25-21. There are some flaws in this storyline, but I'm not going to get into that. I want to mainly speak about these two counterpartner characters, Nahido and Go-Yerim. Now, as they are rivals to, like, lovers, friends, whatever, they are both very different aspects of perfectionism. One is seen as a dreamer and can also be seen as ignorant and naive, but is a dreamer and takes the qualities of authenticity and makes it her craft. The other character, Go-Yerim, is all about being a perfectionist. She wants to be better than everyone else around her. She is self-aware that she might not be, and she's insecure, and she wants to be the best her she can be. And I think these two characters both want to be the best they can be, but Nahido had a different type of passion installed inside her. She wanted to be good enough for her, to prove to herself she could do it. While Go-Yerim more was doing it for a lot of different reasons, and she still loved it. But she let her insecurities and perfectionists get the best of her at times. And I think what's great about this story is they both end up accepting their failures and their successes and their livelihood and respect each other. And I think that's what's the best part about this story. But the reason why it touched me is it showed me how you can be a perfectionist and you can let it control your life, or you can be authentically yourself and strive and be a dreamer and it can still work. But the thing is, you can also be a perfectionist and still be a dreamer and have this passion. But how do you do that? And honestly, I don't have an answer, and I think that's okay. I'm only 18, I think I have a lot more to learn, and maybe I will have an answer to that one day, maybe I won't. I think just how learning how patience is with art in the past couple years, I will learn that lesson too. But with a world that feels so you can never mess up, and I'm talking about like in a different light, not in a serious light. I'm talking about like in a, you can never mess up, so you're too scared to say anything or be opinionated or be yourself because you don't want to be misinterpreted or perceived as something else. And I think that also comes from insecurities. But, and I don't think it's going to change. That's the thing. It's not going to change. I have to change my own mindset. And I think that's what this video is. I don't know what the point of me talking about this for so long was. Oh, also I found myself watching Little Woman, the 2019 film, and I resonated with Jo March way too much. I also resonated with Amy March at the same time. I resonated with both these characters. I went back and forth with them, especially throughout the whole entire film, of being compared to other people and comparing yourself to other people, not being first in your life, etc., etc. I think Amy March says something that I resonate with about I want to be great or nothing. But also, Jo March resonates with me because I am bold, I have a strong will, and I'm not very good with negative criticism. I think that comes from insecurities too, but I think seeing Jo March have a change is what makes me want to not let myself hold myself back. So this is what I'm taking from this video, is media has taught me in ways that I have to be perfect, but it has also taught me in ways that authenticity can get you a long way. And I think that's what keeps me going. Passion, authenticity, and my love for creating. And that's all for this video, and I'm going to do much more other videos this week, so I hope they make it to YouTube. Thank you for watching. If you like the video, like it. If you want to subscribe. Yeah.